Last year I started a walk here in Reading along the River Kennet to Aldermaston, and with it seeming like the 30-degree weather is never going to end, I really wanted a simple walk today, and I figured that one of the easiest ones I could do is another section of the Kennet. But I'm not picking up this walk from where I last left it. I'm instead starting at Thatcham, which is at least a new station for me and is easier to reach than Aldermaston because more trains stop here. Interestingly, there still seems to be some HST car stop signs here at Thatcham, and I can get on the towpath right there, so I can start the walk straight away. Now, the reason why I've decided to start here at Thatcham today instead of Aldermaston is that the section I've missed out I will do another day, and I plan to explore different places around the Newbury area, whilst today I'm sticking solely to just walking the River Kennet. And I say it's about 30 degrees, it's actually more like 26 today, and there is a bit of a breeze, and it was scheduled to be completely sunny all day, but so far the clouds have not quite lifted, so I might get lucky. And we already have our first lock of the day, number 90, and although I'm calling it the River Kennet, it is at this stage also the Kennet and Avon Canal, and it was built to link the two rivers together. So they are very much conjoined at this point, but we may see places later on where the natural flowing River Kennet goes away from the canal. I came across a rather unique lock last time, which was described as being turf-sided, and this very much looks very similar to that one, which must make it the second and only other turf-sided lock on the Kennet and Avon Canal. There's even a little pillbox over there as well, which I just love. Brilliant, there is an information board here which confirms that. Monkey Marsh Lock, which is a great name. There used to be loads of turf-sided locks along this stretch, but yes, this is the only other remaining example. Oh, it was actually rebuilt as a replica. Interestingly, it seems the river was already navigable before the canal opened. I just realised I didn't pick up on the bridge number of the one at Thatcham. So considering this is bridge 44, I presume we started at bridge 43 and lock 90. I actually thought there was a lock here, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It's just a swing bridge. This is quite the overgrown little section. I can't even see the water at all. Well, here's a bit of water at least. I wonder if this actually might be the natural flowing River Kennet over there. Oh, interesting. This is lock 89. We're counting down today. Considering it was called the Kennet and Avon Canal, and we're on the Kennet section here, I thought the numbers would be going up in this direction. This feels like a bit of a rarity. It's like a proper road sign, but just for canal traffic. Great to see another pillbox here, right beside the towpath. It's our second one today. Wonder how many we'll see by the end. This looks to me like we do have a branch of the River Kennet flowing away from the canal here, but I did just look at the map and there is a River Lambourne that flows through Newbury, so that's potentially made its confluence with the Kennet, and then they're both joining up at the canal here. Strangely, despite the locks counting down, the bridges are counting up. For a moment I did wonder whether I actually started at bridge 43 or 45, but no, it is the former. I feel like there's a lot of counting to be done on this canal walk. Number of locks, number of bridges, number of pillboxes, and number of crossings, including our first one here on this rather major road on the outskirts of Newbury. Oh, it's gone quiet now. This is better. In fact, it hasn't taken that long at all for me to get my second crossing of the canal, and I did know that I would want to be on this side of it for the section through Newbury. Ah, this is a bit annoying though. I have to go all the way down the ramp to then go that way. A little set of stairs here would be very handy. I thought that I might be having yet another crossing of the canal up here, but considering I can see the lock gates, that's definitely the canal, so what I'm crossing probably isn't. It's probably just another branch of the River Kennet. So there's a bridge behind me here which could take me to Newbury Racecourse, which I did visit for the first time back in 2018, and I have actually walked a part of the River Kennet here when I visited the racecourse, so it's going to be nice to redo this little section into Newbury 8 years later. And in fact, there's even another section later on which I've also done before, which I'm also going to redo today. Wow, Reading is a full 20 miles back. Thatcham is about 4, so there's a 16-mile gap. I obviously didn't walk that much last time considering I ended at Aldermaston. So we've still got a few miles when I come back for that section another day. For now though, I've still got about 10 miles. Although in actual fact, I think I've only got about 9. I don't know where I got 10 from. I've had like the vaguest recollection of certain points along the canal through here at Newbury. I don't remember this rather nice modest bridge though. I mean, still to this day, I've only ever really explored Newbury on the canal. I haven't really seen much of the town. So at least for a while longer then, this next part of the Kennet Avon Canal is going to be brand new for me. And I am crossing yet again here. Now I've heard that the River Kennet is no longer navigable once you leave Newbury. So I'm wondering if this is the last branch away from it and it will no longer be conjoined with the Kennet Avon Canal beyond here. But then looking at the map, there's just such a complicated network of waterways that one of these branches, even if it isn't the main River Kennet, will probably reunite with the canal at some point. Either way, I think I'm going to try and be more accurate beyond this point. Rather than say the River Kennet, I'll specifically say the Kennet Avon Canal, just to be on the safe side. And now that we are leaving Newbury behind, I've come across the remains of an old railway bridge. This would have been a little branch line to a place called Lambourne, which closed in 1960. There was apparently though one final special train in 1973 to note the closure of the line completely upon freight trains being withdrawn to serve an RAF Welford, which would have been on the line. And this is not the only disused railway in Newbury, as there also would have been the Didcot, Newbury and Southampton Railway, I mean, the clue is in the name, which closed in 1964. And we did actually see a little bit of that former railway when I visited Whitchurch last year. And I do really feel like we could use that line today. There's some important connections on it, which would just take forever by train nowadays. And hopefully from here it should be a nice rural section of the canal up towards the next station on the line. Wow, the canal just goes on and on and on. I think this might be my fourth and final crossing point of the day, because I know for the section later I am meant to be on this side of the canal. Well, it's all very nice and peaceful until you get this substantial road bridge here. I believe that's the A34 road up there. Right beside the railway bridge here, I have my third pillbox of the day. This came as a complete surprise once I emerged from the other side of the bridge. I was so focused on the lock ahead of me as I emerge out from another bridge that I almost missed another pillbox tucked away over here. Wow, this is beautiful. Though you may have noticed the sun definitely has come out though. And there isn't as much of a breeze anymore. So it's definitely now quite tough, to be honest. Yeah, I would really struggle with a hilly walk today if I was out in the middle of the countryside. That, would not be great. Recently on a section of the Greensand Way, I put in the thumbnail that I had visited a record number of pillboxes on that walk. Well, this isn't even the 5th one of this walk. I've already seen another one in between. This is the 6th one. I might beat it today. Wow, it's just never ending. I don't feature all of the locks and bridges because there would just be too many to include in the video, but at this rate, I'm gonna have to stop including every pillbox. This is number 7. Wow, this is a lovely spot. You've got the Kennet Avon Canal here, and what very well could be the River Kennet itself right next door. And yes, at this point I have seen Pillbox 8, Pillbox 9, and even Pillbox 10, which I could even walk inside. Well, I've finally made it to the next station on the line at Kintbury, which I have used before. I bet I've caught the sun a little bit. So it was back in 2018 when I visited Newbury Racecourse that I looked nearby on the map and saw the North Wessex Downs area of outstanding natural beauty, and I thought that would be quite cool to visit. So I decided to head to Hungerford station and thought about doing some sort of walk maybe across the hills like you could do in the Chilterns to reach Kintbury. But I ultimately just decided to stick to the Kennet Avon Canal. So, although I've made it here, I am still going to do the section I've done before to reach Hungerford, which is additional 3 miles or so. Part of me is tempted in this heat to sack it off and go to the pub on the other side of the canal, but I'm going to stay dedicated and continue to Hungerford, which just works out better because I get to do it on video this time, and also when I pick up the canal walk another time from Hungerford, it will be much more manageable from there to reach one of the later stations at Bedwin or Pewsey because they're much more spaced out than it would be if I was to start here again. The only thing though is I don't remember if there's any pillboxes on this stretch. I'm sure there probably is. Kintbury, by the way, is probably the most basic 2-platform station you'll ever see. There's just nothing interesting about it at all. And I'll admit, part of the reason why I've done this walk today and I've missed out the section from Aldermaston was plainly just to get a photo of a Kintbury station sign because I was missing one from the collection. So this is interesting. This sign immediately made me think that this bridge was an old railway, but it's not. There is just a bit of old track on it though. It really is like a train ride to the sky, but it's here to help support the brickwork of the bridge. I've not seen that on any other bridge before, bits of old rail, and I guess I wouldn't have saw it last time if I was walking away from Hungerford and not towards it. To be fair, they are on the other side as well, but I guess I wouldn't really notice that if I was just walking here quite quickly, you know? I'm not looking at that. I'm not even thinking about what this is. This feels like much more rugged terrain on this section to Hungerford. And the sun is just right in my eyes along here. This might be a tough hour. Ah, there it is. I was waiting for the freight train to go by, but I spotted on the map that there is, yes indeed, another pillbox on this section. You know, I actually specifically remember this railway bridge here. This line and the canal are inextricably linked, which makes doing walks along this canal really easy between two of the stations. You know, I will recommend coming out to this line beyond Reading to Newbury, Westbury and Bath if you're looking for some sort of riverside or canal walk. It's pretty easy to get to on the train from London, and apparently it just gets prettier the further along you go, especially if you're heading towards Bath. Wow, we've got another hidden pillbox here. It's number 12 now. That's just insane. I don't want to jinx it by saying surely this is the last one, because at this point it looks like the canal is just never ending. Well, you know what? I completely have forgotten about this. There is one final crossing of the canal right near the end at Hungerford. I'll have to go buy a couple of cows. What is this? Hello there. I don't think I've really seen any wildlife today. Nice to get some right at the end. Wow. These ones have gone way in there to get some food. Fair play to them. The branch landed on his head. I saw this hill. I thought, I'm not going up there. Although I'd love to see what the view is saying. I'm too tired at this point. But then I noticed there's a pillbox over there. So now I do want to climb it just to get a better shot. And how could I not when it's so nicely presented in the sun here and overlooking the railway line. I say that means we're close to the station, not necessarily, because the railway has been near us all day. In this instance though, it is actually true, and it really isn't too far up there now. I have stuck true to the canal towpath all day, but because I've done this section before and I just found this amazing meadow because I climbed the hill that's right beside the canal, I thought I'd walk this instead, right beside the railway, and it's allowed me to come across a rare sighting of a £200 penalty trespass sign, because nowadays it's £1,000. Well, that's a nice sign. That shows the station, or at least the railway is up there, but I'm fairly certain the station is up there. So, because there's always statistics involved in canal walks for some reason, we end on bridge 83, started on 43. That's a good 41 bridges, although it hasn't felt like that. There's no lock here at the end. I don't even know what the number of the last one was. I think maybe 75 or so. So about 16, because we started with 90. And of course there's been 5 crossings and 12 pillboxes. Time to head to the station. That is actually going to be my train. It just has to go up to Bedwin and reverse. That's quite late, actually. I thought that was a fox at first. It's a deer. It's a muntjac deer. So there we go. That's how you do 12.5 miles of the Kennet Avon Canal from Thatcham to Hungerford, and we absolutely will pick up the walk again one day from here to continue towards Bedwin and Pewsey, as well as the mist section between Aldermaston and Thatcham. And my train from Bedwin is about 10 minutes late, so I might miss the connection at Reading. We'll see what happens. And to put into perspective, I've got no watch, but to give you the time and date, it is the 14th of July right now. Pretty much the first half of France versus Spain in the World Cup semi-finals is ending. I don't mind too much about missing that one. Obviously, I don't want to miss tomorrow's one, the big one, England versus Argentina. And I guess you'll find out before I do how well we did in it. Either mentioning it now has just made everyone very miserable, or we're all on a hype still because we won. I'm definitely getting home very late tonight. It might be almost midnight, to be honest, at this rate. But I'm happy to have come out and done a walk. It's like my first proper walk in like 3 weeks, because it's just been too hot, really. And it still was today. It was tough today, but hopefully it's looking like the temperature is going to begin to decrease now. So we should get some more walks in before July ends. I'm looking forward to that. Stick around, subscribe to see what they're going to be. So first class is over there, and if for some reason you pay for it on this train, then you don't even get a platform at Newbury station. The train's too big for the platform.